I decided, well, who cares if I don't have a boyfriend? I'm just gonna enjoy my single life as much as I can. And I'm okay with not having a boyfriend ever. Hello and welcome to When We Are Healed. Today, I wanted to open up an honest conversation about manifesting. I was talking to a dear friend of mine the other day that both of us have been putting a lot of effort, intention into the things that we desire to have in our life, in this human experience. Whether it's a fulfilling business or career, being able to support ourselves financially, being supported financially, aka money. And I know there are a lot of people who are longing to meet the love of their life, their soulmate, their perfect match to be partners with in this life. Or maybe it's having children, whatever it is. So my friend and I have both been pretty dedicated to this practice of intending what we would like to create, imagining that we already received it, and saying thank you in advance. Right? This is a very well-known, popular way to attract, to manifest the things you like to have, things you like to experience in your life. And both of us, my friend and I, have had, in our perception, mixed, limited results from it. And of course, the mind could get in there and judge it and analyze all sorts of ways. Why is this not working? Why is this not working? What am I doing wrong? But I don't think that's helpful. So today, I'm just so curious to open this conversation up. I would love to hear from you. Have you been working on manifestation, like intentional manifestation? And what has your experience been? Have you actually received what you intended? And if so, how quickly did it happen? And also, if it hasn't come to manifest yet, what are your experiences around that? Because as I was talking to this friend, she helped me have this realization that for me personally, the most magical experiences, relationships in my life that I've been blessed with, I didn't manifest any of it, at least not intentionally. I didn't make vision boards for them. I didn't make a list and pray on it every day. I didn't do these like elaborate meditations of imagining the details of what I want and experiencing it here in the now as if I'd already received it and get into the space of gratitude. I didn't do any of the practices that I've been doing in the past year for all those incredible gifts in my life to manifest. If anything, I actually kind of did the opposite if I think about it when I look back. Before I met my now husband of how many years have we been married? Yeah. Almost 20 years. I think this is our 19th year being married and 25 years being together. I love you, Jeff. Before I met my husband, I was in college. I remember I turned 20 years old, my sophomore year, or maybe it was my junior year. I had not gone out with anybody until that point in time. And of course, I was a young woman. And since my teenage years, I dreamed of having a wonderful boyfriend and experiencing all the wonderful things that romantic relationships can bring in life, right? I really wanted that, just like everybody else probably. And high school, I had my hopes, that maybe high school is where I meet the love of my life. And high school just kind of went by. Oh. And I started college and I was like, maybe this is the year I'll meet somebody. And the freshman year passed, the sophomore year passed, and I turned 20. And I had this thought, oh, crap. Maybe I will never have a boyfriend. Maybe I will die single. Because at that point, pretty much everyone I knew had a boyfriend or had at least a boyfriend in high school, or a girlfriend. People I knew have had or had currently a romantic relationship. And, looking back, 20 years old is like really young, but I had this thought, wow, it has never happened to me. And I turned 20, I'm 20 years old. Maybe this is never going to happen for me. Maybe I'm just one of those people who'll never get married and die an old maid. Oh my God, that expression feels so dated. But anyway, that's the thought I had. And at first it felt really sad. There was a lot of insecurity. There was a lot of what's wrong with me kind of self-dialogue going on. But eventually, and I can't even tell you how and why I had that shift, but eventually I somehow had this internal shift. And I remember this very clearly, that I decided, well, who cares if I don't have a boyfriend? I'm just going to enjoy my single life as much as I can. And I'm okay with not having a boyfriend ever. And so I had that internal ding, 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 kind of like shift inside, that I am already whole with or without a romantic relationship, with or without a boyfriend. And then it was a couple months later that I ended up meeting Jeff, who I married later. But even then, when we first met, he was in a relationship with somebody else, and I thought he was cute, but it wasn't a lightning striking love at first sight, oh my God, I found my soulmate kind of an encounter. It was kind of more of like a slow, very lovely, slow unfolding of this what turned out to be the most incredible, rewarding, supportive relationship of my entire life. And I'm very, very grateful for that. And so when I look back on that experience, did my internal shift, my inner decision that I will enjoy my life with or without a boyfriend, and I was going to be totally okay, even if were never to be in any romantic relationship for the rest of my life. And I was honestly okay with that. Did that shift had anything to do with my husband showing up in my life? Maybe, maybe not. My sense that it absolutely did have everything to do with it, but then there's no way of proving that. But what I can learn from that experience now that I dedicated over a year to a pretty consistent manifestation practice and noticing the results that did or didn't come from that at this point in time, what I'm gathering is key is the complete lack of attachment to the outcome, like zero attachment to the outcome. And I'm realizing all the things that I wanted to manifest, that I was like intending and praying on and imagining having it in this past year. There was a lot of attachment to the outcome. There was a big part of me who was not honestly okay if this did not come to manifest. Things about my health, symptoms clearing, things about money and work. There was so much attachment, like desperation, the energy of desperation. And guess what? The energy of desperation only says to the universe, I don't have it. I'm lacking. I don't have it. I don't have it. And in retrospect, I think I was from a very innocently reinforcing the experience of lack in my desperate effort to manifest these things. Mm. And I have tons of compassion for myself for that, right? Because I'll be honest, I still want those things. Even as part of me knows that is not where my happiness comes from, there's a part of me that really, really, really desperately wants to experience those things. But I think the message for me has been pretty clear that I can't welcome those things into my life if I stayed in this frequency of desperation, of lack, of I don't have it and I need it. And so the question is, how do I let go of the agenda? How can I still stay open to the experience of, thank you, that feeling of fulfillment, of being loved and supported and resourced, being cared for, taken care of, belonging? How can I let all of those energies in and stay open to it, all the while softening and letting go of that attachment, that energy of desperation? And the only answer I've found is to let go of the thoughts, kind of sink beneath the world of thoughts, the mind that's so busy thinking about what I want or what I don't want, and is constantly trying to protect myself from potential harm, potential loss. The busy mind that's trying to figure out the small separate self, this Rieko character who really thinks that her life is not okay without these things that she really wants. And just, whoo, almost exhaling out all those thoughts and imagining myself sinking beneath those turbulent waves of the world of form and thoughts and separation, sinking beneath all that to that space of pure awareness and stillness and silence. Bring my awareness to the sensations in my body, becoming aware of the space around me, and just resting in that place as often and as long as I can, away from the thoughts, away from the illusion of separation, away from the desperation of needing to get and being scared to lose. And just be in this stillness now as I am. Because that's the only place where fulfillment really is. That's the only place where peace really is. That's the only place that I actually am in truth. And in that space, I am 100% okay with things exactly as they are, including the thoughts popping up and floating around that says, no, it's not okay. I really need this. No, it's not okay. My body's hurting. No, it's not okay. I only have this much in my bank account, or whatever those thoughts are, right? Even those thoughts bubbling up and floating away is part of the present moment, and it's okay to welcome it all. And just be 2% willing to trust that Rieko not getting what she wants, Rieko not getting her way, is somehow a blessing. There's somehow a gift in this. Maybe it's a setup for some incredible payoff. Maybe it's teaching something that I really, really need to learn and embody to be able to share that with others. Who knows? But if I could just be 2% willing to accept things in this moment exactly as they are, and remember that I am already whole and complete with or without that thing my mind thinks I want or need. That's all there is. That's all there is. And perhaps it is from that place of wholeness that all those wonderful things that I would love to experience can manifest, can reflect back to me that wholeness with more ease. Anyway, that's where I am with it right now. And I would so love to hear from you on your thoughts, your experiences, your sense for how manifestation actually works in this realm. Because we have so many wonderful resources for free, really, on YouTube and elsewhere online, where teachers people are sharing how they've created the life that they're currently enjoying, right? There's information available everywhere freely. But I'm just so curious to hear your experience. What do you think is the key to manifestation? Or maybe you don't even think manifestation is necessary or helpful for you at this point in time. Maybe because from another perspective of non-duality, there is no separate self needing to manifest something. Everything is just simply unfolding exactly as it is, as the one divinity, the one divine power, one life that is all connected. And maybe from that perspective, manifesting isn't even really relevant. So I'm just so curious to open up this conversation. How has it been for you? Have you been working on manifesting something? And what results have you experienced so far? So if you could leave comments and let me know, I'd really appreciate it. You could also go to our Substack, whenwearehealed.com. And what episode is this going to be? I think it's 32 or 33. I have to check. But if you could leave a comment there, that'll be so awesome. I look forward to hearing from you. Sending you so much love, and I will talk to you soon. Blessings. If you enjoyed this episode, I invite you to come check out our Substack at whenwearehealed.com, where you can subscribe to keep in touch and get show notes emailed to you. Sending you lots of love, and I'll see you in the next episode.